What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Arc podcast. And, it's a good thing that this week we've actually managed to get a show out because I heard that we were quite close to getting put into the health and safety protocols in the NBA.
They were on to us, but we dodged it.
Yeah, we dodged it. Sully, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. A lot of things happened in the NBA, most specifically last night. We're recording this on the 16th, the Thursday. A lot of things happened last night, which we will get into. And, it's a good thing that a lot of things did happen last night because a lot of games have been under jeopardy.
Yeah,
we might be seeing a Limicki ring this year.
you never know. It is looking that way. It is looking that way.
But anyway, before we get into everything today, just make sure that you're liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Share it out on your podcast platforms. And yeah, let's just get straight into.
Of course.
I was thinking, what is going to be the main topic that we're going to talk about? Like I said last night, big things happened, but I think we've got to talk about the fact that is this season in jeopardy? Is the legitimacy? If someone wins the title this year, are we going to say they only won it because a lot of the teams?
I think what happens now, whoever wins the chip, because of the amount of teams that are being affected right now by the health and safety rules, that conversation will happen, whether it's like about the playoffs or not, because obviously we don't know what the state of the playoffs will be, but like a lot of teams are getting games postponed, or they're not having the usual team out.
That's the thing. Not the NBA are trying to play as many games as they possibly can, and there are so many players that are having to be kept
crucial
out of
players
isolation.
as well.
Crucial players, yeah. I mean, it took the Bulls to have legit 8 eligible players for their games for the NBA to be like, yeah, this ain't enough. We'll postpone a few of their games. But it's you're looking at the Nets now. The Nets have 7 players in the health and safety protocols. They're fielding. They're playing about 8 players. And
I think last night they had
their last game went to overtime as well.
Yeah, so it's gonna take a toll on the players as well, especially when, like, for example, the likes of KD in the team who will be putting up pretty much a whole game, because they don't have the quality of player to bring on, as well as the quantity. So then that's gonna take a toll on him physically, and then he's gonna have to go out in a day or two and do the exact same thing again. It's gonna affect the players and the teams.
It is. But, I mean, are you thinking that it's more a case of when a lot of the big players come out? Do you think, obviously Giannis has been affected with it, but I feel like out of everyone, he's probably the only franchise player that's been affected with it.
True. Obviously,
do you think if Kevin Durant came down with it, or if
Steph or someone like that?
Yeah.
I think Harden was big. Obviously, that Nets team, if we're being honest, KD is more crucial. However, Harden is his number 2 guy. Yeah. And you can tell he's having to do a lot more work now. Because in a normal game, Harden was putting up about 20-something points as well, accommodating to KD. But now he's going to, we saw the other day, he put up 50, 51.
He did, yeah.
And obviously he had to do that on his own.
Yeah.
He had to do that on his own.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just shows, even though it might not be big, franchise players, it'll be players that had, a big role in the team. Yeah. Exactly. And it's going to affect the way, teams are playing. Nets, they might lose the next few games because KD might be too tired, and then obviously that'll affect the table and maybe even the playoff route, and certain teams might play other teams that wouldn't have been the case if that a lot of these players weren't going into health and safety. So you never know, it could be another Orlando season.
You never know, but I feel like a lot of rings recently have been tainted by
I mean, the last two was definitely,
you're the Suns only got to the finals because of injuries.
Yeah.
The LeBron and the Lakers only won the final because of the bubble. You're looking at a lot of the Warriors title wins as well. You're saying
Yeah, a lot of people are
Chris
saying that now.
back when back when Chris Paul was on the Rockets, people were saying that the Rockets might have had the Warriors
Yeah,
number, but then Paul got injured.
Kevin Love and Kyrie in the
Yeah,
Cavs first
yeah.
team.
The Kawhi injury back
Yeah, in the Spurs.
2015 ish. Yeah.
That's what people. Yeah, that's what people have been saying.
People, obviously injuries happen.
Mm.
It's something to do with the game, but I feel like they've done the right thing in postponing a few Chicago's games. I do feel like they need to be doing the same with Brooklyn soon.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with the fact that they only came out with 8 the other night.
Yeah,
Like, it's just if you're thinking about the players, you have to, and obviously that's what they ended up doing with Chicago, but only when they were coming up when they had 8 players or 7 players. Like in that case, you have to, and I think
yeah,
that's how it is with Brooklyn right now. I think you have to call their games, otherwise it's just not fair on the players, to be honest.
yeah, definitely. But let's just hope that we don't end up in another Orlando situation.
Hmm.
Um, do I don't think we will.
I don't think so, but I do think that something will happen. I don't think it'll be another Orlando one. However, maybe they might start restricting funds and stuff like that. And thing is, everything like that has a part to play in the game. Like obviously, we saw like when the fans came back full stadium, it made such a difference. Like for example, last night the 2 game winners that we saw, if there were no fans there, it just wouldn't be the same. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
So
definitely.
I think something will happen that will affect the game. I'm just not 100% sure what it is.
Fair, fair. Well, one person who has been affecting the game since he came into the league really is that's Stephen Curry.
Oh yeah,
We talk about
and
him a lot, but I feel like we got to be praising him
it's
because
justified.
a couple of nights ago he broke the NBA record for the most threes made in a career in the regular season.
Crazy,
He
so crazy.
he played with it for a little. I feel like in his mind he was like, if I do this at Madison Square Garden, this is
Yeah,
gonna be big.
I
But
think he knew because if he wanted to, he could have done that in the 76ers game. I
it was
think
it was a tough game that he played though. They
it
defended him
was,
quite well.
it was, but I think doing it in the Garden was like, I think that's the best place because on the when the second one went in, everyone was like cheering, everyone was
Yeah,
clapping. They
like
knew.
yeah, definitely. Obviously, the New York fans they were enjoying it a little bit, but
Mm,
you've got to be like they've been clowned on for too long, man.
yeah, true. And I mean, it is a bit like peak that it happened against them in
So
general.
early in the game as well,
Yeah,
Still first
literally.
quarter.
But
I mean, he only needed 2
yeah,
to break the record.
he did.
Two threes in the first quarter for Curry when he's feeling it.
I mean,
Pretty
that's
easy
he
for him
can
to
do
go.
that in 5 minutes, not even
Yeah,
5 minutes.
exactly.
Let's be real, it's Steph. But I think it's just I think that was the game because he knew. Obviously, we knew it was gonna happen. It's just a case of when, and I think that was the perfect time. Madison Square Garden, Knicks, everyone was there. I think that is when you want to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And after all of this, he's now most definitely, not even arguably, most definitely the best shooter
Of
in
all
NBA
time.
history.
Yeah, of course. Like it's.
Where does he rank in a GOAT debate for you?
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people don't want to put him there because he doesn't have the overall game like LeBron and MJ and Kobe and all them guys.
He's the only unanimous MVP in NBA history now though. And he's broken the record for the most threes.
It's it's hard. It's really hard to not put him in there, but a lot of people don't, just because they're not convinced. Like a lot of people still, in my opinion, I know I wasn't there, but I think he's the best point guard of all time.
Yeah, definitely. But
Like,
I do get what you say about people, journalists, fans would rather put in someone who has a more all round game. I
yeah,
can't lie. There's big potential that maybe Giannis, when it's all said and done, might be
what
higher up
you could, yeah, and you could
in
put
the
him in
GOAT
there. Like
ranking
when it's
than
done,
Steph
if he wins
because
like
of
2 more championships, obviously he's already got 3 MVPs. and a Finals
Yeah,
MVP.
yeah,
Like, do you know what I mean? It's hard to not put these guys in there now, or even
yeah,
try, because it's like with Shaq back in the day, you couldn't put him in the GOAT conversation, but at the same time, people would regard him as like one of the best, if not the best center ever, and
yeah.
stuff like that. And it's like one of them. It's not really arguable because it's true. And
Yeah,
like
he did his job, and Steph has done his job really.
by far, like exceeded every expectation
Yeah,
possible. And it's just I don't know. I mean, when he does retire, whenever that may be, because it's not looking like he's slowing down,
no,
then it might just have to be a case of do you start putting him in the conversation? Because I don't know. I mean, there are some people that are in the conversation that shouldn't be, and then there's some people that are skimmed. And I think he'll be one that people will avoid putting him in there because he's just he's one of those players.
yeah, fair. Quick question:
Mm,
saw this kind of discussion thing on the timeline recently. Do you
yeah.
think that in throughout NBA games, practices, um, just like college games, scrimmages,
Mm.
backyard stuff, in his life, do you think Steph Curry has made a million threes?
Made. I'd I'd say yeah.
Because like obviously he's made I forget it's like 2,974
Yeah,
in the NBA
2,974. That's the exact number.
in the NBA.
That's a lot, bro.
That's I mean that's still like that's a margin of
It's
growth.
nowhere near close to a million, but think about
But
it.
you know he'll
That's
have practiced you
so
know
many. Like I
so many
remember
times.
Reggie Miller. I think it was Reggie Miller. Or I can't remember. Oh no, my bad. It was Kareem. Kareem told a story, and he said once he was at the Warriors training ground, and Steph shot 100 threes, and he made 97.
Yeah, like just in shoot arounds or like when he's warming up.
I
You know,
mean,
like when you classic youth level basketball, you're told you've got to make about like 53 throws before you leave the gym.
mm,
Maybe with Steph, it's like I've got to make
53s. It might have been. It looks
those.
that way as well. Obviously, his dad was like a 3-point guy back in the day,
Yeah,
so that's what he just excelled his game on. Even Seth, like obviously he's not on Steph's level, but his 3-point shooting is really good. So
yeah.
maybe that's what they practiced when everyone else was practicing, layups and dunks and like, fadeaways. They were practicing threes.
It's
So
what he does. You know, like I said, it's what he's on the court to do. You know,
yeah,
like you said with Shaq. Shaq was on the court to
yeah,
dominate. Thinking more Dennis Rodman. You know, he'd drop
yeah.
20 rebound
Rebounds.
games without taking a shot or like
Y-
putting up any points. You know, you're on the court to do something. Maybe
mm,
Steph's game isn't as all rounded as the likes of LeBron and Giannis and Kobe and MJ, really. But I think he's got to be down as one of the goats when it's all said and done.
yeah, I agree. Like especially like if they win another chip or two, or
Mm,
he gets an MVP, which is looking like this year he may, then
mm,
it's really hard to not put him in there.
mm. But this season, he doesn't hold the record for the highest scoring game because that was
No.
broken by Kevin Durant, as we said earlier, in a game against the Pistons. You know, if you're gonna do it, you're probably gonna do it against the Pistons, are you?
Yeah, I mean, you think so?
Did you see what Did you see what Skip Bayless tweeted after the game?
Yeah, and then he tweeted him back, "I don't like you" or something like that.
Yeah,
I seen that.
Yeah, because Skip Bayless doesn't like LeBron.
Mm.
If you guys
He's a big
don't
LeBron
know
hater.
basketball, he hates LeBron. He was like he was comparing LeBron to KD. He was like KD's the MVP. He's better than LeBron
Mm.
because of what he did that night. And then KD just claps back. He's like, I really don't like you.
I mean, if you're Skip, you must be thinking like, "I'm backing you. Why are you hating on me?" Like he's there like bigging up his game. Yeah, man, KD 51 points. What a guy! And KD's like, "Shut your mouth." Like it's a bit peak on him. But
Keep it.
I did see that.
moving away from Brooklyn, but keeping with the Pistons. It's not something I had down. But did you see the bit where? Oh no, it wasn't the Pistons. It was Magic. My bad. Did you see where LeBron picked up someone's goggles after they fell over and just put it on?
He did, yes, I saw that. He just put them on. He just put them on because I saw a picture of it and I was like, did LeBron wear goggles the whole game? Then I saw the video. I was like, this guy. I thought he went into like Kareem mode. I was like, yo, we're not ready for this one. But he just picked him up on the floor.
Anyway, yeah, keep with that Brooklyn performance. KD, I don't know, man. Like he's special. You
Yeah,
watch him play. He takes shots from wherever, and you're thinking 75% of the time this is off him.
it's slipping in. And to be honest, he's the only competition, or like the only one that's really neck and neck with Steph in terms of MVP.
Yeah,
Because
He's doing it without much help.
well, right now, in my opinion, like almost no help.
He's still got Blake. He's still got Blake on the court.
I was just gonna say a bit of a washed Blake, but he's still there.
Yeah, drop 51 and then fall down with a triple double in the next game against the Raptors.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think if he keeps doing that, he may actually edge Steph in the MVP. Because
I'm gonna say usually when it comes down to this, it's like there's two players that have played really well, and it's usually down to like how well the team does, because it's like how better have they made the team. You look at last year, Steph could have won MVP, but he didn't make, his team didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, because he was top 3. He was top 3. But
then you look at this year; these are the two best teams in their respective conferences at the moment.
Yeah, and two of the best in the league as well. And I think it may come down to it.
I think it may come down to that, but I think also the fact that Steph's gonna have done the first about third of the season without much help.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, it's just been.
You never know if a Warriors Nets final happens.
I think it could happen. Yeah.
It could definitely happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in my opinion right now, Nets are the only team looking like they're gonna make the conference finals, comfortably. Because, I mean, as well, Kyrie.
There's talk of him actually coming back now.
I've seen the video. I've seen the video.
He was lacing up. There's potential that he might come back. There's rumors saying that if a plant-based vaccine comes out, that he's going to be coming back.
If Kyrie comes back, then
end the East.
I mean, that conference final is looking ropes for whoever's in it, because I think he'll be hungry. Come on, we've seen Kyrie hungry. We've seen him, and Harden putting up, like 20-some points, assisting KD, then assisting Kyrie as well. It could be a crazy end to the season.
Definitely.
But
it could be. I genuinely, like you said, I don't think anyone's beating that Brooklyn Big Three.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Even the Bucks. The Bucks struggled to beat just KD.
Yeah, I mean, we say it all the time, but we saw how close it was.
Yeah.
Saw how close it was.
Yeah. I still don't think that anyone's beating that Warriors team though. Again, like you said, we say this all the time. And this is, a bit of a update on the Clay situation. He was recalled from the G League team the other night. He's gonna be back soon.
He's coming.
When that happens, it's.
I mean, the thing is, even though it's only the G League, the fact that he's playing actual in-game basketball now shows he's fit, he's ready. It's just about him warming himself up in the actual game situation, in a competitive situation. And this is another thing I was actually thinking. A lot of the guys in the league have not played against Clay in over 2 years. Some people not at all. So they might have forgotten, like, obviously, if let's say you're the Suns, like when the Suns beat the Warriors the first time, they were able to watch their whole game. They were able to watch how everyone moves. And that's how, Chris Paul locked up Steph really well. And we saw that, and it was amazing. And a lot of people won't have that with Clay, because no one's studying G League just for Clay. And he's not shown anything since the Raptors final. Like, it's going to be really tough for teams to even, try and stop him. because we remember what Clay is and what he can do, but it's just about will they remember? Wait, how do we actually stop this guy? Because they couldn't even do it back then. How are they going to do it now?
The only thing I'm saying now is he's been out for 2.5 years.
Mm.
When he comes back,
It may not be the same,
it may not be the same Clay.
but I have a strong feeling that I will. Simply
Fair.
because
I don't feel he needs to be as physical. You know, you look at players like DeMarcus Cousins
yeah,
and Blake Griffin. Obviously, I don't think Griffin got injured much, but
it
they've
was it
washed
was
up. They've
it was
washed up
a
because they've had to come back
mm,
to a more demanding system.
yeah.
Whereas, you know, Clay, 70 points, 11 dribbles. Was it? Or was
It
it
was
50 points, 11
it
dribbles, or
was
something like
around
that?
that. It was
Yeah,
definitely 11 dribbles, but
yeah,
it's yeah, you're right because his game was shooting. It wasn't beating a guy one on one. It wasn't
yeah,
assisting rebounds. It was what Steph does, but in a different way.
yeah, definitely.
And that's just like people can't even hack one Steph. Then they're gonna have to have the Splash Brothers. But
Mm.
I
It's
mean,
scary.
the
It's
last
scary how
time it is,
in the
yeah,
West at the moment. I can't lie. There's a lot of good teams. I feel like there's a lot of contending teams in both, but I
yeah,
feel the West is a higher benchmark compared to the East.
100%. I'll agree with you on that one.
You know, you got teams with that are picking up steam, like both LA clubs. Really, they're kind of leaving a lot of teams behind them, and so are Memphis.
Memphis, yeah. Well, I was gonna say the Clippers and Memphis have surprised me the most. Memphis by far because of how the team itself is showing their strength. And then once Ja comes back, whenever that is, they're looking like they're definitely going to be in the playoffs without a doubt.
Mm.
And it's not even going to be like last year they were in the play-in and then I think they only won one game and then the second game they lost or something
Mm.
like that. Like now they're looking like they might get far in the playoffs, maybe even semifinals. Like they're looking good. And the Clippers as well. Obviously they've been out without PG,
Yeah, for the last 4 games, yeah, and they're
but they've been
still
winning.
playing up decent. You know, they won
And
3 out of the 4 games,
and then
including one
with
against the Suns. Sorry.
and with PG, they were doing well as well. So
Mm.
when Kawhi comes back, like I mean, it's not looking safe
It's not.
because Kawhi's that guy that it doesn't matter. He can be injured for 16 years. You just know he's gonna come back and be Kawhi.
It
The
is slightly.
literally
It's slightly funny in my opinion that I feel like the toughest tests that the Warriors are going to face are going to be in their own conference. Like if they can get out of that conference
did win the
into the
title.
NBA Finals,
It's done.
that NBA Finals matchup is probably going to be a lot easier than the semi-final or the conference final, semi-finals and the conference finals.
I believe that because I think all the competition is in their conference.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it, like whoever's in the East is gonna be worried, even once they're in the finals. Like whoever it is, even if it's the Nets, they're gonna be
Mm.
worried because
Yeah,
like the amount of teams that they could face is crazy.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
not looking safe.
No. But keeping with Memphis, 9 wins in the last 10. They've got Sacramento, Portland, and Oklahoma City in their next 3 games.
The,
Win them 3 games, they're at a 21-11
that's
record.
crazy.
That with Ja in health and safety protocols, obviously that's not ideal, but
Mm.
you know they've shown that they can win without
But
him.
yeah, I was gonna say they have shown that people will expect them to get 3 out of 3, especially with the way they've been playing. 9 out of 10. Like
Mm.
everyone will expect them to win those games. I expect them to. Because now that all the fans have seen, right, okay, this is the Memphis Grizzlies. This is what they're doing now. This is how they're coming this year. Everyone is expecting them to, like, their standards are higher now. Like when Ja was out the club at the beginning, when he was first injured, people thought, oh yeah, okay, like they're gonna lose quite a few games. And then one of the first things they did without Ja Morant was break the highest record for beating, OKC. And then since then they've just been winning games on the bounce.
Mm. I think they could keep it up.
I
Personally,
think they could too. And then whenever he comes back, then it's ropes.
but again, we'll be looking at this. We'll review this in a couple of weeks when they've played Golden State and Phoenix.
That'll be the challenge then.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have Ja back by then?
Well, I'm just trying to calculate now. They could.
Because if they
Because
do, then
they might not have him for Golden State, but they probably might have him for Phoenix. His 10 days definitely will be over by then.
yeah,
Of
100%.
isolation.
Because if they do have him for one or both of those games, then that's the real test. Because I do think Golden State would probably rip them apart. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe.
And then
Maybe.
the Suns probably could too, with or without Ja. But obviously, if they've got the full team, and then they win either of those games, then they're showing, yeah, we're here. Like they let the league know.
Yeah. Well, moving on to some crazy things that happened last night. You know, game winners are extremely rare in NBA. In the NBA, there's usually about like 15 each year. We were treated to 2 last night.
There were two good ones as well.
2 good ones from probably 2 people that you weren't expecting to, especially
Never.
the Lakers one.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you've got AD, LeBron, and Russell on the court, and your game-winning 3 comes from the rookie Austin Reeves.
It was, but one thing that surprised me the most, obviously the game winner was amazing, and it was probably a big moment for him in terms of his LA career. Obviously, his first year, but he was shooting over 80% that whole night because he took 12 shots from both 3 and field goal put together, and he made 10 out of 12. That's crazy. Like, you'd think if someone's shooting that well, like maybe they knew, okay, let's just give him the ball. It was kind of like, the Steve Kerr in the
Yeah,
96.
when you're feeling hot, yeah.
When you're feeling hot,
Okay,
just gave him the ball, and he got fouled in that shot too.
didn't get given.
I mean, if he
But
did,
yeah,
then that'd have been amazing.
clear
But
foul.
damn, like that must have been like amazing for him because I think he's a rookie, but he was undrafted, so he came as a free agent. So obviously he doesn't have the same hype around him as all the other drafted guys, and maybe his confidence got knocked. But that will make him feel like he's on top of the world right now, and that's what you need when you're a rookie, especially with when you're on a team with LeBron, Russ, AD, these big guys who are like they come to play. And they've got the
LeBron's
experience.
given him the nickname AR-15 now as well, which is
I
quite
mean,
a nice nickname. That's quite
it's he'll love that. He'll love that one. So when
When
you're being
LeBron's giving
given
you a nickname,
nicknames by LeBron,
yeah.
then he must feel like he's made it. Like you love to see it, man. You really love to see it.
Yeah. And then moving on to the other one, which was probably not as feel good in terms of who did it, but Devontae Graham heaving one from about halfway inside his own half.
It was almost full court.
Yeah.
It was
Just after I was the emotions that probably are running through that.
It
I
was
mean,
crazy.
I'm not a Pelicans fan. I'm not a Thunder fan. But if I'm watching that as either fan, the elation going into disappointment from a Thunder fan after hitting a tying 3 with a second left, and then losing it, and then the
way they
disappointment into
lost it.
elation, the opposite way around, the vice versa for a Pelicans fan.
Because
this is the game between the teams at the bottom of the conference. This is the tank game. This is the game that you're looking at that and you're like, if we win this, we've won a game, and that doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't. I mean, if you're a Pelicans fan as well, you must be thinking the game's like is going into overtime. Your players are not that good, and now they're going to be even more tired. Yeah. And damn, like that was crazy because he just threw it. But I think as it got further and further,
you're thinking
everyone just got more gassed because it was going, and then the players because they just started to like whoa, and then it just dropped and it was crazy.
Crazy. It was, yeah, and you never know. Maybe with Zion back, this Pelicans team might actually push on. I don't know if he's going to be coming back. He's now officially missed more NBA games than he's played in.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god. Like, have you seen him right now as well? He looks like he's He's just given up on basketball.
Then a picture came up with him the next day, and it looked like a James Harden.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't understand. I don't believe it. I feel like it's just like old picture that just came up like randomly. I don't know. Maybe it was just the angle of the picture. I don't know.
Maybe.
Photoshop is a thing, but there's no way he did all that in one day. Like I know James Harden did that, but it wasn't in one day. Like
It's because of the trade.
They just
He got
gassed him up.
traded, and then all of a sudden,
He was like, whoa. But I don't know. I mean, even then, if you're Zion, you're still a fresh NBA player, whether you're injured or not, you try and look after yourself. It looks like he's about to retire. Like the way he was treating himself, he does not look like a serious ball player.
Fair. Well,
if you're on the Pelicans team and your main guy looks like, he's been spending his nights, sat doing nothing, eating a pizza, not even watching their games because they're not worth the watch, then you're gonna be worried.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're just in the bin, but at least they got the win against the Thunder. They're not the worst team in the West anymore.
Yeah, well, for now.
Moving on, that's pretty much everything from this week. But the predictions are coming. Last week I gave 5 games, and we both of us had a bit of a stinky week. I can't lie. The Lakers Grizzlies first game, we said that it was going to be a Lakers win. It wasn't a Lakers win.
Not the best start.
Not the best start. Next game was the Jazz and the 76ers. The battle of the two decent regular season teams. The Sixers aren't done that well this year though, and the Jazz ended up winning. But you said that Bogdan, you backed Bogdan again,
and he flopped it again,
and again he flopped. So no Bogdan points, but you did get 1 point for the win. Then Nets Hawks, you backed Trey again. It didn't work because the Nets won again. But I backed Harden. Harden didn't come through. So we're level with 2 games left at one apiece after 3 games, which isn't ideal. It's not great.
Harden's on the ropes.
No. Celtics Suns. We really needed a pick up here. We needed something to come through. The Suns did end up winning. We both said that the Suns would win. But who would have thought that this was the game that JaVale McGee decided to drop 21 points and 15 rebounds?
Well, it wasn't
Mr.
me and you.
Shaq to fool himself, JaVale McGee. So obviously, we only got 1 point there. We only got 1 point each there. So we're tied going into the last game. It's a big game. It's Bucks versus Knicks. We both said that the Bucks would win. I backed Giannis. I was feeling a bit confident with myself because you did not back Giannis. You backed Drew Holiday. I'm thinking this could be it. This could be the time where I pull through and level it up in the scoring after taking a 2-0 deficit in the first 2 weeks. But I checked my NBA app after the game. Opened it up. Chris Middleton drops a 24 piece. Giannis drops 20 points. But gets a triple-double. I'm thinking maybe the NBA might give it to him, but they didn't.
Which that doesn't make sense. Like, I get they give it to whoever got the most points, but if you get a triple-double, you're expecting player of the game. Like,
you're thinking, are you?
Like, imagine you got 30 points, 30 rebounds, 30 assists. I know it sounds crazy, but let's just say you did that, yeah. But someone else got 31 points. Then it makes no sense.
But anyway, that's just how it works. I'm not complaining because I didn't lose.
True.
So that's just we end up 3 against 3 on that week, which means that we drew. Which just means that we both get an extra point. Might as well avoid this week. So you are still ahead by 1. I've got 6 games.
Yeah.
Trying to count again. And you never know. Some of these games might not even happen.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say with the Bulls-Lakers game, it's looking like it probably won't.
At the moment it is, though.
Yeah.
Well,
their Bulls tonight has been postponed.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I mean, We hope so, because we hope everyone's good by then, and we hope the game
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. Obviously we want
Yeah,
everyone to be healthy. We want
of
everyone to be
course.
good. But let's not try and rush people back, I guess. But we're going off of what we know now, and we know now that the game is going to happen. But first up, in fact, no, we'll start there. We'll start with Lakers Bulls. What are we saying?
If the game does go on with a full healthy side from both teams, I'm expecting Chicago to win that game.
I don't think it'll be a full healthy side by Chicago. I think it'll be a. I think we'll still be without. We'll definitely still be without Levine. We
Okay.
might still be without DeRozan. I think we'll still be without DeRozan. I think we might have Kobe back. I think we might have Caruso back. Caruso back against the Lakers. I'm calling a 40-point piece. I'm joking.
I mean, if you're missing your two big stars, and the Lakers have been picking up,
Yeah. I mean,
then
I've gone with a Lakers dub.
I mean, you never know. Obviously, if um, Lonzo's playing and Caruso's playing, and you've got if Kobe comes back, I don't know. I don't know. I'll say Chicago. I'll
Okay.
go Chicago.
All right. Who are you saying? Who you playing?
Basing on the fact that Levine and DeRozan probably won't play, I'll say Lonzo Ball.
Well, I've gone with the Lakers, and I'm thinking an LBJ
Hmm.
game.
To be honest, that was my initial thought, but I've switched
I
it up.
don't. Fair. I don't really see any of us being able to play good defense on him, unfortunately.
Yeah, true. I mean, no one's putting up points like LeBron.
No. I guess. 76ers versus the Nets is coming up next. Obviously, we know that the Nets are without 7 players. If this
Hmm.
gets worse, this game might also be
Yeah.
postponed. But at the moment, it's still going ahead. And I've gone with, because of the short-handed Brooklyn squad, I've gone with the 76ers. What are you
I
thinking?
I think that if that game goes ahead, they will probably have one or two extra players back. So I think they should have an okay squad going into that game. 76ers have not really found their groove in terms of the big games, this being one of them. So I think Kevin Durant is about to splash 35 or something
Fair.
against Joel the father. And then I wouldn't be shocked even if the Nets had just 5 players, they had no bench. I'd still expect KD to do something crazy because it's KD.
Well, I'm still going to go over 76ers win. I was going to say Embiid, but I've
Hmm.
changed my mind at the last second. I don't I don't know, man. I think this might be an Embiid flop game. Watch, we'll come back this time. Embiid will have dropped 67, and I'll be
60.
looking like a bit. I'll be
He
looking like
dropped
a bit
30
of a fool.
points, 30 rebounds, 30 assists.
I'll be looking like a bit of a fool. But I've stayed with the 76ers. I'm going with a Tobias Harris game instead.
Not a bad shout, to be fair. Can't fault it.
Fair. Next up, Nuggets versus the Hawks. I picked this out because as of recording, both teams have the exact same record of 14 and 14.
No, so it's quite a deep game then. But I don't think the Hawks will be able to hack it.
Fair.
I think Jokic, Jokic is not having a bad season. He's actually having a really good season. Just because the Nuggets aren't winning as much, it's looking like they're not doing as well as they normally do. But he's actually playing really well still. Like
Yeah.
obviously he's not the MVP level that he was last year, but he's not far off it.
No.
And but because obviously Steph and KD are doing their thing and their teams are winning, it's making him look a bit less when
Yeah,
he's
you
actually
know what?
really up there. So I
Okay.
I think my man Joker is
Okay.
gonna come through.
Fair. Well, this is actually going quite well. 3 games and we've both chosen different teams to win. I'm going with the Hawks. You know, you've backed Trey multiple times, and it's not. It's not
I
been the
gave
best
up.
for you.
I gave up on him.
You gave up on him. I have. Well, I haven't backed him yet, so I can't exactly say I'm giving up on him. But I'm putting my faith in him for this game. I don't know. I do think it's going to be a very close game. I think it could go either way. But I'm saying if the Hawks do win, which I think they might just edge it, then Trey's going to be the one that leads them.
Not a bad shot as well.
moving past the Lakers Bulls. Celtics 76ers. I'm pretty sure we've probably already predicted this one. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but Celtics 76ers is always a big game.
Yeah.
And I feel, weirdly enough, no matter how average, like this year, the Sixers have been quite average, but even when the Sixers were big these last few seasons, no matter how average the Celtics have been, the Celtics have always beaten them. Just from thinking, just from me thinking now, the Celtics do seem to always beat them. Jason Tatum is probably having the best run of his season so far. So I'm saying, JT loves the Godfather, Embiid. So
Damn,
I'm
that's
saying,
annoying because I said Celtics, but I wanted to say JT because he literally owns the 76ers. But you said him now, and I'm going to stick with this team that we've been going on. So I'm going to say Celtics, but I'm going to say JB.
right, okay.
Just
And
because
then,
you said
okay,
JT, I just had to switch up.
right, fair. And then finally, Timberwolves versus the Mavs is happening twice this week.
Yeah.
I've put down that we're going to be predicting the second game because at the moment Luka's out. I don't know if he's going to be back for that game, but we want it to be as even as possible.
As fair as possible, of course.
So if give Luka as much chance to get back, and he'll be back for this one. Who are you going with?
I think Timberwolves are gonna beat them, even if Luka's there. I just think this year especially shows that no matter how good of a player you are, you need the help. And I think Timberwolves, they've got a decent team going. And I think Anthony Edwards this year is like, he's hot, man. He's lighting up. He had got 38 the other night. Or was it last night?
Yeah.
38 points, bro. That's crazy. And I think he's going to pull something out of the bag against the Mavs.
Fair. Well, I'm in the same situation as you. I was saying Timberwolves too. I was gonna say Ant, but you were kind to
I
me.
niced you. I
You let me have
niced you.
JT. You've switched yours, so I've switched mine up too. I'm gonna go with a cat performance.
Either or could happen, to be fair.
Yeah.
Either one could happen.
Definitely, but that'll round up this week's predictions.
It's nice. No same predictions for once.
We've made sure to change it up.
So this week, someone is defo losing.
Hopefully. We thought, it's being close to Christmas. Sully was like, we were like, should we just, do a little, good deeds. We'll give each other a point. We might be getting closer to Christmas now, but it's not happening. I'm ruthless now. Someone is going to lose. There'll be no draws in this one.
Someone is definitely. Especially after last week, a draw. We don't draw around here. You either win or you lose. If you lose, you firm it. If you win, then you're the guy. So definitely. I'm hoping you lose. I was gonna say I'm hoping someone lose, but it's either me or you, and I don't want to lose. So.
Well, that will conclude this week's episode of Beyond the Act. Thank you, Sully, once again for being
of course, man. Of course.
The guest. Once again, just coming through, helping me out.
Of course, man.
Providing the conversation, providing the vibes.
Guys, you already know what to do. Click
like and subscribe.
Everything. Tell your friends, man. That needs to be we need to make some merch. Tell your friends.
Merch, okay. Yeah, I'll make a t-shirt. But yeah, make sure that you're just sharing it out, no matter what you're listening on. We really appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.